by the hero, the 7th Blade King, who is now about to be executed in front of the people of the Terra. This rules, not even the greatest warrior in history, the 1st Blade King, who vanquished the Dark Spirit King and saved humanity, was exempt from this rule. The 1st Blade King, Rebel Landlot, who betrayed the Empire and was executed. Next, we see two guys beating up a little boy for defying his master's orders. He calls him Landlot Scum. The boy is the grandson of the Blade King, Rebel Landlot, Landlot, and if it was a few years ago, those bad guys wouldn't even be worthy of carrying his shoes. He gets another kick and few more whips. The man informs him that he should be thankful to the Emperor that he allowed him to live this long, even though his grandfather betrayed the Empire, and now he is nothing more than a lowly slave. He grabs the whip and thanks the man for reminding him of how noble his status is. The other man reminds him that he is just a trash, and nobles are the people who are the bearers of the Holy Seal, like the one he has in his hand, and that the Holy Seal is the true symbol of nobility. And even though he is the grandson of the traitor, he can't muster the slightest bit of the Holy Seal's power. The man tells him that he is just a trash, and even if his grandfather Leba were to come back to life, he'd die of frustration upon seeing such a useless grandson, and that he is just a scum whose only good point is his ability to take a beating. A little girl comes there, and she is a little scared of those two. Her name is Zio Mai, and she's a slave just like Laisel. She informs the two men that their Sir Deputy Captain told her to inform them it's time for their training. They leave from there, but informs Laisel that it's not over yet. Zio Mai comes to Laisel asking if he is alright, and thanks him because it was her fault for accidentally breaking the plate, and he stood up for her and got beaten. Patting her head, he tells her that protecting a girl is a man's duty, and decide that was clearly a trap they set for her. He noticed that those guys have been targeting her for a long time. She compliments him, saying despite being so weak, he never backed down out of fear when facing them. Those words of hers seems to have hurt him more than the beating he got from those guys. She gives him a few more compliments, which almost kill him. Then a man comes there and orders them to stop slacking off and get back to their work. Next, in the Grey Rock City combat training ground, people are training, and Laisel is cleaning their weapons, while remembering his past, that it's already been 5 years since he was forced into slavery. After his grandfather betrayed the Empire, they got attacked by the Emperor's people. Father and mother made sure that he and his sister survived. They died in that process, but he couldn't protect his little sister. They took her away from him. He curses his grandfather. It's all happened because of him. If only he hadn't betrayed the Empire, his parents wouldn't have died, and they wouldn't have taken his sister. He gets ready to make these people pay for what they did to him and his family. He gets a hit from behind for grinding his teeth in anger and not moving his hand fast. Zio Mai comes to him and gets ready to help him. They seem to get along pretty well. He also informs her that when he manages to unleash the power of the Holy Seal, nobody will dare to treat him like this again. But the power of the Holy Seal is innate. He also informs her that after his family fell, those who wished to uncover the secret of the First Blade, the Emperor's power imprisoned him. They drew his blood, cut him open, and tested drugs on him every day, conducting so many perverse experiments on him. They even implanted the dark demon cells into his body, trying to awaken his potential. Eventually, when they realized he could never awaken the power of the Holy Seal, they sold him off to the slave owner, and he believes that as long as his body can withstand enough stimulation, he can definitely awaken the Holy Seal. That's why he keeps enduring when they beat him. The two guys from earlier comes again and gets ready to punish them for slacking off. Laisel tries to stop the guy from treating Zio Mai like that. He gets a kick from the other guy, which sends him flying. And as for Zio Mai, the man gets ready to forgive her as long as she serves him well. Seeing them treating Zio Mai like that, it's making him super angry. He throws the sword he was holding at those bad guys, but the guy easily blocks his sword and gets ready to show him the innate power of the Seal Master and throws that sword back at him. However, Laisel manages to dodge it, but the sword seems to be controlled by some kind of power. It comes back at him again. He is in the air, so he couldn't manage to dodge the sword this time and gets a hit by that sword. The man laughs at him for thinking that he can dodge the sword. Then the deputy captain of the Shadow Iron Squad, Second Order Seal Master Calder Fillin comes there, scolding those two bad guys for spending time of other activities instead of training. They informs him that the slave attacked them with a weapon, and they just used a seal skill to teach him the awareness he should have as a slave. And from what the captain saw, he thinks that they were clearly trying to kill the boy with that one blow, but they didn't expect him to dodge it. He comes to Laisel, and clearly he seems like a bad guy. He punches Laisel without saying anything. However, Laisel still stands on his ground. Then someone appears behind him. It's the guy who attacked him with the flying sword. He gets ready to make sure Laisel dies today, since he has the gall to dodge his attack earlier. The captain is surprised because he intentionally struck Laisel on his wound, yet he didn't cry out from such a pain. And captain seems to know the history of Laisel's family, that his father, Dean Landlot, was the Empire's leading alchemist among the 5 great alchemist sages, and his mother, Alina Landlot, was also a psychic genius, and his grandfather, the Empire's first Blade King, Leba Landlot. And he is surprised to see Laisel, the son and the grandson of such an amazing people, is a trash. Laisel spits on his shoe, saying who does this dog belong to? It's been barking non-stop. Captain gets ready to show him how to be a good slave, and gets ready to let his friend demonstrate that for him. He moved towards Zio Mai with his knife, gets ready to show him that a slave is just a tool for their master. He stabs Zio Mai with his knife right in her heart. Laisel is boiling in anger. He's ready to chew the captain alive. On the other hand, Captain gets ready to see how long a heart can keep beating after it's taken out. This reminded Laisel of the time when his sister was taken away from him, so he thinks of Zio Mai as his sister. He charges toward the captain like a mad dog. The guy who was holding him is shocked to see the torn up hairs in his hand. Captain takes his knife out from her chest, and Laisel is coming straight at him. He gives another strong kick. It definitely broke a few of his bones for sure. He went flying, but his pain is fading away. He realizes that he is about to die. Then he hears a voice saying, "You're finally about to die." This makes him mad, thinking that the extreme stimulus needed to awaken the Holy Seal is death. What is the use of it if he dies? But the voice tells him that now is the time of his death, but also the beginning of their coexistence, because it's not the Holy Seal, but a dark demon. Laisel is confused about what this voice is saying, and dark demons are the mortal enemy of the humanity. He doesn't want to be a dark demon. However, that is not for him to decide. The dark demon informs him that the humans who can share their life with him are exceedingly rare. He has waited for this opportunity for hundreds of years. Besides, coexisting with him not only allows Laisel to live, but the dark demon also gets ready to give him a little gift. After that, Laisel lands perfectly even after getting hit by such a powerful kick. The hair that got torn earlier grows back and even turns to red color. A strong energy covers his body. Everyone is shocked to see that he is still standing on his feet even after getting such a powerful hit. The guy who hit him with the flying sword earlier gets ready to finish him off, and the gift that Dark Demon gave him is called the Bloodline Remembrance, which allows him to inherit all the abilities of his deceased kin. And how strong his abilities are depends on how strong his kin are. The bad guy throws a punch at him. He slams the guy on the ground with a strong punch. If you guys are enjoying it, then please do 400 likes for part 2. Next, that one punch